Welcome back, little cheesecakes, to another episode of Functional the Aftershock. My name is Daniel, and today we're going to be reviewing this amazing episode, which was written by the amazing Demee Pilar. Welcome back. I am joined by an amazing person I'm lucky to call my friend Demee. Thank you so much for coming back, and thank you so much for this special episode that we're going to be talking about. This episode was written entirely by you, right?
Yes.
I am so happy, and so with that, let's start off this episode with a cheers to that. Congrats, my love.
To the weekend.
Yes. I'm gonna taste that actually. Demee, oh my gosh. Before season 2 even started, I knew I wanted this episode to be written by you, and so when I asked you, I was really lucky that you were like, yeah, let's do it. Now, this is a running joke where I legit, and I still sorry to this day, I really don't consider myself a writer. Yes, I know I wrote 2 seasons, but I don't consider myself a writer. But with that, I do always want to ask someone who does write and stuff, what was, I guess, what's your writing process? And then 2, what was the process of writing a project that, that wasn't coming from you directly?
Well, for me, my writing process is I imagine everything in my head, and Inez and I are friends in real life, so she's really an amazing person. So I kind of got like the idea of her, and then Sheila, and then I merged the 2, and then I kind of like imagine the scenarios in my head of what would make sense story-wise, what led up to this point. And the main thing I want to focus on is why is Sheila the way she is. And that's why incorporating her sister in the mix and incorporating her family and what she does when she's away from Jasmine. I think that was like really important to solidify. So I kind of put myself in Sheila's perspective of what she goes through. So she's not really seen as a villain. And also being a black woman, queer woman, and having a child and going through relationship struggles. And yeah, so I kind of just went from that perspective because I can understand every stage of that, minus having a child. So that's kind of like the process I went through. And I also wanted your opinion on what you wanted, because I know we're in constant communication about like what you wanted for her character. So that was great.
Me as a creator, one of the biggest things I wanted to do, especially when writing Functional, I wanted, especially going into this season, I wanted to be as an opportunity to, give voices to other people other than my own. I knew this episode was one that I wanted about Sheila, because I wanted to see more about her background, more of her family and stuff, but I also knew that me as a cisgender Latinx male, I can't speak for, someone that I'm not, and I think that's fair, that's okay to admit when you can't do that, one of the things I wanted to at least talk about, where at least I know I resonate from, is that when we come from a queer family, how impactful family is on someone who's queer.
Yeah.
And it was also hurtful in the sense where it's like, there are families, we're not going to just say no, because
then it's just kind of like, it's a part of us that we can't necessarily always share with them, because we're nervous, because that's the part of us that we discovered ourselves, and then sharing that with our family and hoping they're accepting of it because they can't necessarily understand it is so important. So yeah, no, I definitely understand Sheila's perspective completely in terms of like having a mother, because my parents are black, of course, and like I love them so much, and they are at a point now where it's completely like everything's good, and they're at this place where it's just like I can be open with them about stuff. But there was a point where I couldn't, where it's like especially in the black community, it's like there's a certain sometimes I think standard that's seen with straight black parents, and religion also plays a part in that too. So I think it's really important to touch on those things, because the black community, we're constantly still dealing with being queer and black at the same time, and sharing that space with people who are straight and black, and trying to find that in between of like, our families taking our relationship seriously. So.
Where do you see Sheila's point of view as far as acting the way that she is? Because on the exterior, it's someone who's very like hard, rigid, but this time we see her vulnerable and her vulnerability. So where do you see that and how that plays with the stuff that she does?
I feel like black women don't always have the space to be able to be emotional. I feel like black women don't always have the space to be able to show their feelings or be able to express themselves without it being seen as anger. When a lot of the time it's anxiety, and a lot of the time it's feeling like that pressure, feeling things aren't aren't fair, especially in the lesbian community or the queer community in general. There's still a space that we're trying to fit into, and also we have our own space, but it's like being Black and gay is still something that our culture is grappling with, so we're constantly in that, you know, and it's something that is constantly being talked about just in general.
Because this is actually the first time we see Sheila back in season 2, but we see it in a sense where, you know, you can't help but to feel like, dang, you are actually in this legit alone. Like, this episode is mostly just her by herself.
Yeah, and it's her perspective, especially the stuff that she has to deal with. Like, of course she's vulnerable. Of course she's like, give her that space of being a Black woman to be able to feel what she feels without villainizing her. But in reality, she's human. She's dealing with all this stuff, and at the same time, maybe that's reflecting in her actions.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I view Sheila, because I can completely understand where Sheila's perspective is. Whether people want to, even with her and Jenny, they're two different types of Black women. Mm-hmm. So that's
and I love seeing both of them on screen with that kind of, you know,
yes, it's a dynamic.
Yes.
I made Jenny switch on purpose because I feel like with Black women there's an understanding, but also there's sometimes a divide. So I liked seeing that, like Jenny and Sheila coming to terms of being like, okay. And I feel like with Jenny, she just wants respect, and Sheila is like, I don't have the time, which is understandable, you know, because the only thing she can really focus on is her child and everything in her life. So why should she care about Jenny? But Jenny's like, you need to be more considerate because you don't think about people.
Yeah. How was that, watching something that you wrote, your words? Like,
it's great. No, because I've directed my own stuff before, and I've also written stuff before, but it's really nice to see something in your head, you know, and like see it right in front of you, and then it working out exactly how you thought. And I was like, of course, you know, the conversation between her and her sister was very on brand. Like, and because they're both Black women, they completely understood the perspective. It was kind of like, girl, you know, that kind of thing. Like, girl, come on, like, girl, listen. You know?
I mean, originally the when we first talked about the character that Sheila was talking was her mom. But when Ella Marina actually auditioned, it sparked. I was like, I told you, I was like, you know, this person's really great. And I was like, I was like, you know, I would actually love to see a perspective from a sister's point of view, because again, it kind of goes back to like, you know, this is kind of a talking to a peer, where like a parent, you're kind of like, like at the end of the day, unfortunately, you're my parent, but I can't like speak to you on that level. And that's just
she's trying to level with her sister, which I really like. I mean, the dynamic for her mom, I kind of added it originally in the original, the other script, the first script. I remember I put a lot of my mom, you know, like in the beginning when I came out to her, and just like, oh, well, it's just a phase, or oh, you're bisexual, right? Isn't that just like, don't you want to date men too? And it's just like, one of those things where it's like, okay, I can write that, Daniel. You know, and then when you said sister, I was like, I can write that too, because it's like,
I just made you go through.
No, just switch it. No, I could switch it, because it's like there are straight Black women out there who like, if they want to talk about it, we can talk about it. We don't have to right now, but like there's straight Black women out there who don't always understand the perspective of gay Black women, and especially feminine gay Black women. That's what I love about Sheila too. She's a feminine gay Black woman, and I feel like on both ends of the spectrum, whether you're a stud, STEM, femme, any of it, you're not always taken seriously if you're a person of color. And
or playing the role that's like, this is what you should be playing.
Exactly. No, because it's like, if you want to have a conversation about the Black community and being queer, it's like we're still trying to find that level. Like, we're still trying to find that just like understanding between each other, being like, this is what this is, you know, and like our relationship's being seen seriously. So with Sheila, it's like she's trying to explain to her sister, like, you know, this is real. This isn't just a space. No, I don't want to date like mom, like your friend. No, I don't want to date like this. And I've had that happen. Like, oh, like, you know, I met this
so you're
nice
done.
guy. It's like, no. Does he have a sister? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, final question, I guess, for you mostly. Like, I mean, this also comes from me as I write and create out of necessity for representation. Like, I personally do like being an actor more, but I love learning these other like things that I'm good at, you know, when creating. What do you consider yourself, you know, speaking into roles, like, what do you consider yourself now, you know?
Just an artist. I love photography. I do photography.
Yes, you do.
I love writing. I've been writing since I was like 9 or 10. So like, this just feels natural. And then I went to school and had my bachelor in fine arts degree. So I like, it just feels natural and stuff. And like, I just constantly write. And And so I see myself as an artist, and I love acting. It just kind of feels like talking or breathing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
so.
good. Well, Demee, your talent shines so much again, as always. And like I said, I'm so lucky to have known you so many years in this very lonely city at points. So
Yes.
thank you so much for everything that you've done, and for your friendship, and for the talents on here. And I just love to see, where you're gonna go. And I know you're gonna be doing way more stuff as we discussed. So with that, where can people find you, and what other stuff can we expect to see you?
Well, you can find me at Demee Pilar on Instagram, and I'm gonna actually have a series coming out next year. And I'm really excited about it, so I hope you guys can check it out. And yeah, it's written by me, directed by me, and co-directed by someone else as well, which is a surprise. And yeah, so I'm really excited.
Demee, I'm so excited for you. So cheers to that.
Thank
Cheers
you.
to that.
And thank you for inspiring me, because watching you work hard on this project and watching everyone here and everything, I'm very proud of you. And seeing you come this far these past 6 years, and just really, you inspired me to be able to just be like, yes, I can do this. So I appreciate it. You're definitely one of the people who I was like, yes. So I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank y'all so much. I'm gonna go cry now
Oh, no.
But thank you everyone for joining us back home. Stay tuned. We are halfway through this season already, so stay tuned. We'll have more functional coming your way, and another after shot next week. Oh my goodness.
Oh, God. Yay.